friends, and thanks for being here, and also for those following online this side event. It's really just on my side to welcome all participants on the side of the Climate Change Secretariat to this side event, which will be sharing information and updates on this very important program that we have in the Secretariat, which is called Capacity, and is the result of the generous contribution from the Minister for Ecological Transition in Italy. It's a long acronym, but you will see the details later in the presentation. But fundamentally, the purpose of this is to provide opportunity for fellows to come to the Climate Change Secretariat and work with us for a minimum of 1 year and possibly 2 years. And we started this some time ago, and just before the pandemic, we were lucky to have 9 fellows joining us in Bonn, and it was a very positive experience, both from the side of the fellows themselves, so they could work with us, learn and bring back home this spirit, and at the same time for the Secretariat, who benefited a lot for these very skilled professionals in our work. So more details will come. The point mainly is the fact that we had to stop because of the COVID pandemic because the real value is having those young professionals working with us in person in Bonn, and this was not possible. Now, finally, the situation has improved to the point that we are ready to launch a new call and have more fellows coming here to Bonn and working with us. So, again, with thanks to the government of Italy and the opportunity given to young professionals for SIDS and LDCs, we are ready to start. We are ready to continue, and we have found the opportunity to share with you some details on this program, and as well there will be the opportunity to follow this presentation online, so all the information about how to apply and how to join this selection for the Secretariat work will be very clear there. So with that, I'll pass immediately to Alejandro, who's going to walk you through the details and all the information, and thanks again for being with us today. Alejandro.
Thank you very much, Daniele. Good afternoon. Welcome to this side event. My name is Alejandro Kilpatrick. I'm the manager of the Capacity Building Subdivision here at the Climate Change Secretariat, and I will have the pleasure of giving you a brief overview of what this program is. So what is a fellowship? Who are the fellows? What are the capacity fellowship expectations? How do we get the next fellows? And particularly also to be able to entertain questions and comments from you. And what are the immediate next steps in the implementation of this program? As Daniele mentioned, the acronym is, this program is all about capacity development to support colleagues or officials from LDCs and SIDS. So the acronym was sort of customized to reflect this. And it's a long-named Capacity Award Program to advance capabilities and institutional training in 1 year. So we made a lot of efforts to fit the acronym of capacity, but it's all about capacity development and be able to also generate a win-win relationship for the Secretariat and also for colleagues in LDCs and SIDS. As mentioned by Daniele, the Capacity Fellowship Program intends to bring to Bonn, to the Climate Change Secretariat, professionals from LDCs and SIDS for a period of 1 year, subject to renewal up to 2 years. And in our past experience, all of the fellows remained for 2 years. So the experience was able to be extended to 2 years. So let's continue. So the intention is, as I mentioned, building local capacity for addressing climate change in small island development states and least developed countries, to be able to engage colleagues in the work of the Secretariat by doing analytical work on climate change in the context of sustainable development, but also Of course, within the UNFCCC process that's now, as we all know, moving or shifting to a more of an implementation aspect. So that's the main objective of this fellowship program. And also, based also on previous experience, it's a good opportunity to create a network of experts and also for expanding those networks to reach countries, particularly LDCs and SIDS. And the intention is that any skills or knowledge that the fellows can obtain here whilst working in the Secretariat are transferable and can be implemented immediately when they go back home. The intention, of course, is also to foster leadership, the leadership potential of young and promising professionals. This is interesting because the feedback we have gotten from previous fellows is that, on the one hand, their understanding of the UNFCCC process increase dramatically when they see it from the perspective of the Secretariat, which is different when you're on the other side. So that also helps, has helped these fellows in better supporting the climate actions in their countries in the context of aligning with the UNFCCC process. So if we go to the next slide, so where do we, so the fellows can have worked in all divisions of the Secretariat. When I say all divisions, mostly in the sort of technical or substantive divisions. We have divisions on mitigation, we have divisions on adaptation, means of implementation, but also in divisions that have to do with legal affairs and communications. So, and this is done, and here we have a breakdown of where our fellows, the previous fellows worked, in what topics and in what divisions. Like you said, like I said, you can see that they were spread out in different topics and divisions, because, and we'll come to that, this is based on a vacancy or a call where we put out specific, well-developed, targeted announcements, vacancy announcements, to which colleagues from LDCs and SIDS can apply. So that allows to also match interest and already some experience to the areas. For example, there might be fellows interested in adaptation, and I think that we saw a lot of interest in adaptation, for example, but there are others that maybe have a background in law, in environmental law or international law, and they might be more interested in joining our legal affairs division. So if we go next slide, so who are the targets? Mostly young and mid-career professionals who are already in public service sector, and this, of course, includes government and other types of institutions that are associated with public service sector. So it's not necessarily only ministries, but though then depending on the countries, there are many institutions that have, for example, research centers that are affiliated to the government, but so that could also apply. It's important that it's about public service sector, because the intention is that these fellows come back to their countries and are able to contribute through new skills and knowledge in their own areas of work. And that's one of the requirements, but we'll look into that. As mentioned, they have to be nationals of and working in a small developing state or an LDC. And here we have, well, we all know which these countries are. If we go to the next one, just the first round of fellows, as mentioned by Daniele, we came from these countries. We had countries where we had 2 fellows, but you can see there was a wide range of countries represented. So Ethiopia, Kiribati, Laos, Malawi, Rwanda, Uganda. And they worked in the following areas in these divisions: adaptation, means of implementation, admin services, mitigation, executive direction and management, legal affairs, and transparency. Next. What are the sort of requirements, expectations? So from the fellows, they have to obtain an employer's approval and permission for a leave of absence. And there has to be also, if we go next, a written statement that the fellow or the colleague will return to the institution they came from or for at least 6 months. Again, the intention is not to just capacitate people, provide knowledge and skills, and not apply them in institutions. So there is a requirement they should go back to their host institution. There has to be a final report, of course, of the entire fellowship. And, well, I think it's obvious, come to the Secretariat with an attitude to learn and develop their skills and knowledge, which we actively saw in the fellows who joined during their first round. From the hosting Secretariat team, so again, the intention is not to fill resource gaps in the Secretariat, but really work together with the fellow to develop their skills and knowledge. So, and also the intention would be to work on activities, projects that could be of use to the country, to the institution from the fellow comes from, and to maximize impact. So what we do is develop this expression of interest, that's internal, and then we nominate a supervisor in the different divisions in the Secretariat, who are supposed to monitor progress and make final appraisal of the fellow. So that's a bit the administrative aspect. But like I said, also allow the fellow to access available training opportunities within the Secretariat, but also to provide this on-the-job training, guidance, to some extent mentorship on the particular areas of interest of the fellow or for which they applied. Okay. So, well, the timeline has a bit changed, but our intention is to formally launch the call after the SB sessions. So there will be a posting of announced vacancies in the website for which candidates from LDCs and SIDS can apply. And the intention is to have that run for around 3 to 4 weeks. Then we will gather those expressions of interest, and they're targeted. So we will have, let's say, 5 announcements out. So 1 for adaptation, 1 for mitigation, means of implementation. So fellows can apply to 1 of them or a couple of them candidates, and then there will be an internal filtering process to make sure the basic requirements are met, and then there will be an internal process to do interviews, for example, written tests. So it's like a formal recruitment process with all the layers trying to be able to distill the most suitable candidates for the different positions, in the understanding that sometimes we get a substantial number of applications, and of course we cannot accommodate all of them. So if we move forward, so yeah, that's a brief overview what the Capacity Fellowship program is. Again, it's an effort to create these win-win situations for us as Secretariat to be able to deliver more effectively and with greater resources our mandate, but also to offer the opportunity from professionals from LDCs and SIDS to broaden their knowledge and capacities. We have also colleagues here from other divisions in the Secretariat that have been working on what could be the type of activities a fellow could support with in different divisions, and maybe we'll give them an opportunity to explain a bit what are those activities. But I would stop here, but to allow for a space of questions and comments on the fellowship. And again, just as mentioned by Daniele, reiterate our deep thanks and appreciation to the government of Italy for their support in this fellowship program. The government of Italy is highly committed to the topic of capacity building, and also for particularly to support those countries that have regularly expressed a strong need for capacity development, like LDCs and SIDS. So thank you very much. I don't know, Roberta, I see you would like to take the floor.
Thank you very much, and thank you to those who are here attending this side event. Indeed, Italy is very committed to support capacity building for developing countries, in particular for LDC and SIDS. And we would like also to thank the Secretariat for the excellent work in organizing the program and enhancing the participation of applicants. And unfortunately, as it was mentioned before, the program had to stop for a while because of COVID, but we are, of course, keen to continue and even expand the collaboration with new capacity building activities.
Thank you, Roberta. It's interesting, this microphone says I don't have a button, so I'm always tempted to push a button, but it's great. So now, yeah, thank you, Roberta. And as you said, we didn't assume new fellows over the pandemic, even though it could have been done remotely, but I think that would not probably given the full experience to the fellows. So it was decided to not continue, also because of the logistical complications, some quarantine rules, etc. But now, as mentioned, we're ready to do a new call. So then I would like to open the floor, please. If you could kindly introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Krishni, and I teach law at the University of Mauritius, and I'm here for the ACUF Exchange, which has been organized by the Secretariat. I mean, this program seems very interesting, and I would really like to apply for it. I saw the side event, and I was really interested. I had a question. So from where I come from, so Mauritius is a SIDS, obviously. So when you mean public sector, the University of Mauritius is an academic institution, which is the national university. So it's a public university. So would that make me eligible to apply? Academic institutions also?
Yeah, I think we would need to look at that. Like I said, the intention is to public service, because the idea is to bring back those skills to the country. So if the situation of the universities is linked to go, as you say, it's a national public university, we will have to look at that. I don't know, Roberta, if you have any views on that, but...
Following what Alejandro said, I think the intention is to build capacities for officers that will deal with climate change and the international process on climate change. It would be preferable that it comes from like a national institution involved in it. But I think that if so the national university can be involved, that
Yes, because
definitely
we also
something
involve as academic to do research and to involve in all the...
Yeah. Yeah, it would be good to know if how the university supports or services the government or government institutions, for example, when on climate change related matters. I think that would be something to better understand. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Yes, sir, please.
I am Thaddeus from Solomon Islands delegation. Firstly, I would like to thank the Secretariat for the capacity building programs throughout the last years gone by. Solomon Islands have been involved. We have one fellow some 10 years back who was now leading the negotiations in terms of our delegation in terms of Article 6. So my question is, how many students are you are likely to take this year for the fellowship program?
Thank you. We're looking at, and I mean, it's related to the resource availability, of course. And like I said, we have a limited amount of spaces. So we're looking at 10 fellows for this new call. Again, distributed in the different divisions of the Secretariat based on the announcement. So we're looking at 10 fellows. So as you can understand, there has to be a rigorous selection process, because we need to factor in that there could be a substantial number of applications, and then they have to be sorted out and follow a recruitment process. Yep. Okay, maybe give you a bit of time to think if there are further comments. I don't know if my colleagues from other divisions are here, maybe just to give the audience an idea of what you're looking in a fellow, the type of activities you would engage a fellow in. I see Maria Laura, you're still there? Sorry to put you on the spot, but...
No, that's okay. I cannot stand up. Ask. Yeah, and thank you thank you to the government of Italy for this amazing opportunity also for us. So I'm a member of the Action for Climate Empowerment team. So this is a team that focuses on Article 6 of the Convention and Article 12 of the Paris Agreement. So it's education and training, public awareness, public access to information, public participation, and international cooperation on these areas. The work of the team is really exciting. At the moment, we have 2 tracks going in parallel, so we are supporting the negotiations because there is an item that is still being negotiated under the Glasgow Work Programme, which is the action plan, and the negotiations start at the SBs this year, but will continue until COP. And then we also are focusing on the implementation of the Glasgow Work Programme. In terms of the activities under the Glasgow Work Programme, there are several mandated activities, including in-session ACE dialogue, in-session technical workshop, and also coordination with the different constituted bodies. And this year, with the support of the government of North Rhine-Westphalia, we have signed a 3-year agreement that will allow us also to implement part of the activities of the Glasgow Work Programme, and it has really concrete activities. I also suggest that you check the website, but including an ACE Youth Exchange, hackathon, and regional workshops for youth and for national focal points. What the project aims to do is to strengthen, to empower youth in climate action, in engagement in climate action and policy, and to also to strengthen the role of the national focal points and their networks. Youth, of course, is a separated but integrated part of ACE and is one of our main focuses. In terms of activities, we do a lot at the regional level with the support of the RCCs and always in coordination with our children and youth constituency, which is Yango. And we also coordinate with the RCCs that are promoting a regional project that is called Agile, that is an academy also for young people in different regions in Asia Pacific, in Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, and Asia Pacific, yeah. And we are also coordinating with the presidency to have some annual youth forum at COP27, which, well, it's something that we are still coordinating. So in terms of what to expect from the fellow that is chosen, we are looking for someone that has strong interpersonal and communication skills, because most of the activities require engagement with a lot of types of different stakeholders. Collaborative working style, of course, we are part of the ACE team. It's a very nice team to work in, and this is a skill that we strongly look for. Understanding of the international governmental process, because we are still negotiating some items as part of the process. Work experience in relation to one or more of the ACE elements could be ideal, and some experience in working with youth. And we also, well, and also with this experience, and we hope that the fellow will have, well, of course, contact with working with an environment that is multicultural and enhanced understanding of the international system of the ACE and youth agendas, and yeah, and also be more aware or of what could be the issues that should be moved forward at their country level or regional level in order to advance on ACE and empower youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria Laura, and I can confirm that the ACE team is a very nice team to work with, so I can promote it actively. Of course, I have to say probably that of their teams, and it's the case in the Secretariat. So I don't know if colleagues from the Legal Affairs Division, Luisa?
Yes, thank you. Well, my first word is of appreciation to the government of Italy for financing this really interesting program to build capacity building at a national level. And my name is Luisa Rodriguez, working as a legal officer at Legal Affairs. Thank you for having me here. And I'm on a mission that it is a little bit challenging, that it's explaining what we are doing in legal affairs in really attractive ways. So it's, I know it's very dry. You may have read what we're looking for. And what we're looking for, it's a young professional, a devoted, a passionate fellowship, which has at least 3 years of knowledge in legal writing, analysis, and negotiation. But let me bring some life to these words. So what does it mean? Because this is, for example, the core business of legal affairs, and is to support negotiations, not only, for example, at these sessions, but also in COP. And what does it mean, support negotiations? I'm sure you may be familiar with the SBI or SAPSTA agendas, hundreds or, well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but at least 40 or 50 items. Legal affairs is there, and is there to support the negotiations. And what does it mean? And it means the following. When draft text is produced, you will be called to provide your first checking of the accuracy, your first checking if, for example, the right decision is well written, to provide, for example, what lies behind these tests. And this implies doing a little bit of legal analysis in support of all of this. But at the end, you will leave your mark, because you also will be part of the team, a team. We are a small team, but very passionate, very nice too, and that will bring a decision, and you will say, you know, I was part of this decision. I was working with legal affairs, and I got the expertise, and I know what is behind this agenda item or the other one. And give me another, another example. For example, the bread and butter of legal affairs, or the core business, is to prepare legal advice. We may receive advice request from other divisions here at the Secretariat, or from parties or other subsidiary bodies, to look at, for example, implementation of the Paris Agreement, the Kyoto Protocol, or the Convention. So the first call would be you to look at the basics. For example, treaty implementation, or what could be there, or what has been what other United Nations bodies have done to address a similar matter, what have been the precedent here. So you build, or you prepare the building points for the legal advice for you to discuss, and to discuss with the rest of the team. And you also will be part of the team to deliver this legal advice. And then also we provide legal agreements, MOUs, discussion about privileges and immunities. This first front, or the first tier of very basic, vast, sophisticated legal research, it could be on you. And then we also have capacity building activities, for example, to explain what legal is doing in other regions, or in connection sometimes with universities. You could be in contact with this regions, so these universities, to prepare the materials, to present what could be the work of LA. So it's a very interactive relationship with LA, and you will be doing a little bit of everything just to support the delivery of the mandate of the LA, and you will be supported by a really excellent team. And this is so I call you to think seriously of being part of the LA team. It could be a really great experience that later on you can bring as a future negotiations or negotiators to the table. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luisa. I think you managed to make it a very attractive sale of working with our Legal Affairs division. Often our colleagues from Legal Affairs are the ones who save the day. When negotiations are a bit stuck, then we call in Legal Affairs, they provide clarifications, legal advice, and that helps unlock often negotiations. So it's a very, very important part of our work. And I have to say, for the previous call of the fellows, a lot of candidates had a background on law, environmental law, and there was a lot of interest in the positions in the Legal Affairs division. So it had attracted a lot of attention previously, and I'm sure it will again. Thank you. I think we had another colleague, but I think she had to leave. I don't know, Carla from our mitigation division. Yeah, maybe she had to go somewhere else. Okay, so now having heard a bit what some examples of what fellows could be doing in 2 of our divisions, if there are further questions or comments. I don't know if our colleagues from HR division also want to add anything in particular. Don't want to put you on the spot, but if not, then we'd like to hear from the audience. Okay, if not, then I think we can conclude this side event. Thank you very much for your interest.
We have received one question on
great.
the platform. So Florence is asking if there is an age limit for applicants. If you could elaborate on that.
Thank you very much, and I had forgotten the platform. Thank you very much for reminding us. There's not an age limit as such, but we're looking at usually mid-career professionals or early career professionals. And as mentioned by Roberta, the intention is also to have a bit of focus on younger people that are not starting at the very beginning of their careers, but a bit more with some level of experience, as Luisa mentioned, maybe 3 years. So there's no age limit per se, but we're looking at, there was a provision in the MOU that preferably not older than 40 years of age to try to make sure that we get that focus on early mid-career professionals. So I hope that helped answer the question. I don't know if there's another one from the platform. No? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so if there are no further comments or questions, thank you very much for your interest, and please keep posted. The announcements will be made after DSB sessions. They will be posted on the UNFCCC webpage. And here is the email of our team if there are further questions, and on the fellowship webpage, in which you will find also the new call. Thank you so much, and wish you a very nice evening and weekend.